Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the VoIP Guys. We're getting good at this. We get, 42 episodes now? Anyway, last time around we had a sort of a theoretical lesson on SIP providers, and this time around we're actually going to have a look at a SIP provider and get it all configured into our Asterisk system. So,
not all, but we start the configuration.
Yeah, okay, fine,
because it's relatively complex.
Okay, so what do we need to do then?
First, we need to understand how a SIP provider sends calls to us, or how is the authentication done between our Asterisk server and the SIP provider.
Right.
And there are some different approaches. The most common two approaches is I have to provide my IP address to the SIP provider, and then he just sends the calls to my PBX, to my IP, and then my firewall should forward the traffic or something like this. The other way is that I register at the SIP provider. That means my Asterisk server sends a SIP register, registers itself at the IP address or at the host name of the SIP provider, and while he registers, he tells the SIP provider, now I have the IP address blah blah blah.
Right.
Please send all the calls now to that IP address.
Okay.
And the next thing is, in most scenarios, we have our Asterisk server, we have a router with NAT, and then we have the SIP provider. The next thing is, if you register, then you register to the SIP provider, and then you open your NAT table that he registers also the IP address. Not for long, for 30 seconds, but or for 1 minute, depends on the settings of your NAT. But it opens a pinhole to the provider.
Okay.
And most providers send a SIP package every 30 seconds just to keep the NAT open.
Right.
So if you register, then you just keep sending a packet, or the provider sends a packet to you, and then you don't have to open the firewall ports from the outside. You only say connections to the SIP provider and every established and related connection.
Right, okay.
So this is very, very, very good approach. If you only make it IP address to IP address, the first way you can do it, then you really have to allow your firewall to forward all SIP traffic to your Moby Dick. This is our product. We are Asterisk server.
Good product placement there.
Great product placement. So forward all the traffic, and the advantage of register is that you can go through the NAT borders.
Okay.
If you're interested in that topic, how the NAT and the opening of the NAT and how a NAT table works, then please let us know then in the comments below, then we can answer that question.
Yeah, because you've got a pretty good presentation that you did at a provider in Germany. It was quite fun. It was a good presentation to watch.
Yes, we can talk about it in more detail if you want to. But for now, just open your firewall from you to the provider, you register, and then a packet keeps your NAT open. Okay. So you don't have to open the firewall to the inside direction.
Right, okay, cool.
Just so far.
Next step?
Next step is, in 90% of the cases, if you're not in a carrier environment, you will register. This is the most common way, I think.
Right, okay.
So we have, for instance, a provider. This provider is Flowroute. This is a US provider. We've
based in Seattle.
Chosen because he has an English front end, so everybody can read it. And here you can see you have active SIP registration. So here you also have to register to the provider. He has 2 servers where you can register to. You can see the registrations. And here is something special. You also can not use SIP registration, but you can also send a TECH prefix. This is something special of the provider for authentication. And here you see the normal way of SIP registration. What you need is, for sure, the server you register to, the username you register, and the password. You can read our password in plain text here.
But it's going to be reset as soon as this is done. So
Yes, don't try. You can try it if you want to.
It's not going to work though.
Yes, and even then, it's just a SIP line in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh no, I think our number here is a premium number in Manhattan.
Yes, and I think it's very limited in the setup. So, but only if you want to try it, please try it. But it makes no sense. Why can you see the password in plain text here? Because you need the password to put it in the asterisk configuration, and then you could read it anyway. So it makes no sense to hide it now. So that's what you need: a SIP pair to register, a username, and a password for sure. Then let's go to the asterisk. We are in the asterisk CLI. We go out there. We go to the sip.conf where we configure all the SIP stuff. I placed a line in here for the registration. You can see the syntax. It's register, the user, optional secret, optional auth user, at the host, the port, and the extension you want to register. I just start. Register. Then first I need the user, which is this one. Put it in there. Then I need the password, which is this one. And then I need the host to register to, which is that. Okay, then you can provide a port and an extension. Let me explain this. You only need the port if it's not the standard UDP 5060 SIP port. Okay. If it's not, then you have to define it.
Right.
In most cases, it's just 5060, and you don't have to provide it. Then you can say /extension. That depends on the provider. Again, we will see that there are many things which depend on the provider, which makes it so complicated.
Yeah.
But you can register your extension. So in some cases, you register your extensions 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you get an inbound call, the provider calls 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever you registered. But you can see if you have a trunk, then here you have more than one extension. So which one to register? And to be honest, there are many ways to put the extensions in. It could be dialed from the provider, it could be part of the SIP header, and so on. We will see later on.
Okay, fair enough.
But for now, we just put in like this, and hopefully we can register.
Let's give it a go.
Save it, yes. Let's say SIP reload. Reloads all the SIP. No error messages are good messages. And now we can say SIP show, and there is a new thing. We always said SIP show peers. I can tell we will need a peer later on, but for now we just check the registration. And we say SIP show registry. And we can see this is the host, this is the port, the username. We will refresh in 105 seconds, and we are registered. Let's see what the provider says. We can refresh that page, and most of the SIP providers have something like this, where you can see if you are registered or you are not registered. Sometimes they have just a lamp which is then green or something like this, and here you can see if you're registered or not. So we have to refresh this. Maybe we have to reload again. Don't give up. Sometimes it takes a little until the pages are refreshed. No, not for yet. Sorry, not for now. But it is a matter of the page you can see here. Maybe it does not refresh fast enough, but we are sure that we are registered because you can see here we are really registered, and Asterisk only says it's registered when he gets the answer back.
Right.
that
Okay.
it's registered. So and now a Java update, we can also skip the update. But why I don't explain too much about the carrier and why this did not refresh or something, because you for sure will have another, or in 99% of the cases you will have another SIP carrier, SIP provider. So rely on the asterisk line. If you're registered, then you are registered.
There you go. It's a good top tip.
Yes. What does it mean? Your provider now knows your IP address. The NAT is opened, maybe, and he would send you a call. So if he now receives a call, he would send to you the call, and then your PBX would say, or your Asterisk PBX would say, I don't know how to handle the call, just drop it. Because we did not create a peer yet, we have no inbound rules what to do, so he will just drop the call for now. So, but the first thing is to register. You can discuss, no, register is not the first step. First create the peer, and then register, because then if you receive a call, you can handle it. But I think to just test the credentials, if everything works, if the IP connection works, DNS works, stuff like this, this is a good proof to see if everything is configured right, if you can do the register.
Okay, fair enough. So what are we going to do next time around?
We will try to create a peer, make an inbound call, an outbound call. Let's see what happens.
Right then. So there you have it. Next time around, it could go all very wrong when we don't get calls working and so on and so on.
Yes.
Thanks very much for watching. Until next time. Goodbye.
See you.